Hello, everybody. Welcome to Weekly Trash, the safe place to cleanse your mind, body, and soul of all that trash you consume this week so you can consume some more tomorrow. I'm your host, Josie Van Dyke, and I have a star sitting next to me, Lindsay Arnold CUSICK. Welcome.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited you're here. Welcome to Weekly Trash.
Thank you. I feel so honored. Like, this is the cool place to sit. So I feel very, very
Oh my gosh, Lindsay, you're going to make me blush. No, I'm so excited you're here. I used to watch you on Dancing with the Stars. I followed you on Instagram forever, so I feel like I know you.
I love that. Well, now we really know each other.
Now we really know each other.
Yeah,
We've
and
met.
We're really going to get to know each other.
We're diving deep into the dumpster here at Weekly
it.
Trash. We need to know everything. People had lots of questions for you. And so, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready to dive in? Okay.
I'm ready.
Today's episode is sponsored by Maury. Founded by friends and partners, Maury was born from personal struggles with mental health. Their mission is simple: to help you thrive and truly enjoy life. They have poured their hearts into creating products that make a difference, and their commitment to quality is unmatched. Maury products are crafted with all natural ingredients, ensuring that the benefits are as outstanding as the taste. They believe that wellness should be a delicious experience, and that is why Maury products are bursting with flavor. There is nothing artificial about Maury. It's all the good stuff and none of the bad. Their first product, Calm, was carefully formulated with a blend of natural ingredients like ashwagandha, magnesium, L-theanine, and other calming ingredients. Calm is your daily companion for mood enhancement, stress reduction, and improved cognitive function. It's the healthiest remedy for life's everyday stressors. They sent me some, and it truly is as delicious as it sounds. I've only been using it for a couple of days, and I'm loving it so far. So why wait? Start capturing those fleeting moments and savor life like never before with Maury. Your well-being, your moments, just enhanced. Go to MauryNutrition.com today at MORIINUTRITION.com. Lindsay.
Yes.
Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Provo, Utah.
Provo.
Yep. Born and raised there. My mom lived there as well, but my dad actually wasn't from Utah. He moved to Utah for college when he was about 18 years old. So yeah, most of my family was there, and then I lived there all the way until I started doing the show.
So your family's still there?
Yep. My parents still live in the same house that I grew up in.
Oh, that's so fun.
I know. I literally think I will be devastated. Like, I don't relate to people who are like, oh, we lived in multiple houses.
Yeah,
Like, we have been in that house since I was 3 years old. I would be so sad if my parents left,
so
even though
trippy
I don't even live there anymore.
When you go there with your kids and you're like,
oh yeah,
wait, you're playing in the same spots that I played.
Oh my gosh. And like when they put on my dance costumes that are still in the dance closet that my mom has, even though all of us are now like adults. Yep. But
that's amazing.
It's
I
just
love
the best. I'll be so sad if they ever leave. It's such like, it's just home. It's home for me.
Yeah. And you have all sisters.
I do. Yes.
And you guys are all super close. Has it always been that way?
Yes. I mean, okay, I say all the time, like, I am better friends with my sisters now than I was when we were little, just because I think when you're young and you're girls, there's just the dumb fights.
Yeah.
Like, if you have sisters, I don't even have to explain what kind of fights these are.
What are the age gaps?
So there's 4 years between me and my next sister, and then it's 2 years, and then it's 4.5 years after that. So I'm 12 years older than my youngest sister. And I actually had the biggest gap with like my next sister down. My mom had a hard time getting pregnant. Okay. And so there's a pretty big gap between us, which sucked because we never went to high school together.
Yeah,
like we were never
barely, just like that 4 years.
We barely missed each other. But honestly, it's probably for the best because I feel like when I was a teenager, I was such a brat. Like I really was. I was not. Same. I didn't want my sisters hanging out with me and my friends. I was like, oh, leave me alone. You're not cool. But now I literally can tell you, my sisters are my best friends. Like,
I love that.
Every single one of them. Even the one that's 12 years younger than me, we are best friends. It's so cool.
Did all of you dance?
We did, yes. So we all danced, which is so funny because neither of our parents were dancers. It's not like that was like the family way. Yeah, because
how did you get started?
I mean, I guess my mom just put me in dance because that's just what you do with little girls. And then it stuck. They put us in other things as well. My dad, of course, wanted me to try to play sports. He put me in soccer. He was actually my soccer coach, but that went horrible for me. Like, I was not an athlete.
Not my thing.
I just was not good. And I think they knew right away, like, that's not for her. But I really loved dancing. So I did that. And then kept having girls in the family, and they put them in dance, and everybody just loved it. Like, it really, you could just tell that it was something that we all loved to do. A couple of my sisters, like the one right below me, Jensen, she was actually really athletic. So she was the one that my dad was like hoping that she would be the sports.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, the athlete in the family. She played soccer for a really long time, but then it came time to like choose between the two, and she chose dance.
She chose dance. Everyone chose dance. Poor dad.
But
dad
truly,
of all girls.
he is the best girl dad that you could ever find, and the best dance dad ever. Like, we got so lucky.
That is very lucky.
I know.
Because, your parents seem to have just raised you guys so well, because
That's
you
so
are
sweet.
so close. You all turned out amazing and successful and beautiful and kind and just good people.
Thank you.
Do you think you guys were just naturally good kids, or was their parenting style something that helped?
Oh, I owe everything to my parents. Like, I really believe that every single thing that is good that has happened to me is because of the way that my parents raised me and the support that they gave me. I think the biggest thing and the thing that I want to do as a mom is support my kids in every single thing that they do. I think it was so cool because growing up, like, everyone was at everything. So
Really?
It wasn't like my mom took me to my thing and then my dad took my sister to another. It really did help, though, that we did the same stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it actually was even so cool that my parents opened up a dance studio for all of us to dance at. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yes. So when I was about 12, my parents opened up a dance studio because they're like, all of our daughters are dancing. Why not? Like, why not be fully involved in this?
Yeah.
And that was so special because that meant literally we were doing everything together.
Yeah.
But then again, there were times where maybe I'd have a competition and my sisters wouldn't, but it didn't matter. Everybody went to everything. We supported each other through every single thing that we did. And I feel like that really kept us grounded, kept us focused on what's most important. And I really believe that that's what has helped us stay so close in our older years as well.
I love that.
Just the fact that, like, it was so instilled in us that, like, family is the most important thing and the only people that matter in your life. And I feel like that's helped me in so many ways, whether it's like with friends or things growing up, living out in the industry, like, just knowing that family is the most important thing. So I really want to make sure that I can do it with my girls too.
Well, it seems like you are. I mean, just from the little parts I see on Instagram, I'm like, dang, can she teach me how to be like a better, more calm, loving mother?
Oh, stop it. If you saw my day to day, if you actually saw every moment of my day, I feel so bad because Instagram is just never the right depiction.
Well, it's not real.
It isn't. It's not real. Like, I definitely lose my
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Oh, of course. I think it's impossible not to as a mom. Come on.
Oh, the patience level.
Yes,
sometimes you're
I
like,
know.
I told you no 10 times.
Yes.
I can't do this anymore.
Oh, yes. I can't
So
handle.
do your parents still own the dance studio?
No, they don't.
No?
So that they stopped the dance studio when I was I was out of high school. I think my youngest sister was maybe 13. She still is dancing. She's actually dancing at Center Stage now, which is where I grew up dancing. But I think it just got to the point in our lives where it became very much like, it was a lot of work.
I can imagine.
All of their kids were no longer doing it. So, like, we were all kind of doing our own things at that point. So, yeah. But while it was the thing, it was so special.
Fun.
Yeah,
That's
so
super fun.
Yes.
So how did you get into ballroom dancing? Because that's very specific.
Yeah. So I feel like in Utah, it's a lot more common, but really specific to one dance studio, and that's Center Stage. Growing up there, I did all the styles, but it was around like 8 when I started noticing that there were girls who were getting ballroom partners and dancing. And actually, one of the girls who was like the biggest idol for me was Julianne Hough. Now, this was before she had even become what she is now.
Yes.
Yeah. She danced at Center Stage and she was just a bit older than me. And I remember watching her and being like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. But it's funny because at most other dance studios in Utah, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Like, Center Stage was really the only place that had everything, where you could do jazz, tap, ballet, all the things, and then also do ballroom. But yeah, I'm very lucky because it was just something that I had always seen growing up. And it wasn't until I was about 8 years old that I started. It was funny too because there's not as many boys that want to dance.
Say, how do you get a partner?
Oh, my mom fully like recruited a neighborhood kid to be my partner.
No way.
Yes, she fully did. And like totally just like on her phone finding people for me and found me a partner. And then I had multiple partners. Like I had so many different guys, because that's the thing is guys will do it for a little bit. And maybe they'll stick around, maybe they won't. The last partner I landed on we started dancing together, I think when I was 14, 15. And then we trained together all the way until high school. And he's actually on Dancing with the Stars as well. He's from Utah. His name's Brandon Armstrong.
Yes. Okay. His wife is a trasher. If you're listening.
Oh my gosh. We love you. We love Briley. She's the best.
She's so cute. So you start, and did you know right away, like, I'm really good at this? Like, did it come naturally?
I don't feel like me and my like 8-year-old mind knew anything. I just knew that I loved it. And I really loved doing ballroom. Like I loved the competitiveness of it. Wow.
Oh, don't worry.
Speak.
I will be word vomiting and missing up a lot.
Give me 15 minutes and I won't even be making sense anymore.
No, seriously.
But I knew I loved that. I loved that like everything else I did was as a team.
Yeah.
But with ballroom, it's just you and your partner. And I really liked that. I liked that it was like a little bit more just about me.
Yeah.
It was more pressure, but I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then I think pretty quickly, like my parents recognized that I was really good at it because they are the ones who really had the control. I mean, they could have said, this is fun, but it's a lot extra work. It's a lot of extra work, a lot more money because it is so expensive to put your kids through dance. Like I'm already preparing myself if both my girls want to dance. I'm like, okay.
The costumes,
it's
the
crazy.
Training.
Yes. And if you want them to be really good, like that's the thing. Like you can just do it for fun.
Yeah.
You can do it. It's just leisure, and I'm really grateful because my parents could have looked at it like that and been like, we're just going to let her do a couple classes a week, but that's it. But no, they saw that I was really good at it. They saw that I loved it and they went all in for me. They really just did everything they could to make sure I was getting lessons with the best coaches. I had all the awesome costumes. We went to all the different competitions and the competitions are not just in Utah. I mean, you're flying all over the country, even out of the country sometimes. Wow. So I feel like I think early on, people recognize, my parents recognized like this is something that we really need to pursue and like push.
Yeah. And you went on So You Think You Can Dance.
Yes, I did.
And you killed it.
Thank you.
I actually remember watching when you auditioned. I had to have been, because you're how old are you right now?
I'm 29.
So we're 2 years apart.
Okay. You're younger or older?
I'm younger.
Okay.
And I remember watching it and my mom is a huge dancer and she was like, go Utah, like Utah, Yay. Support Utah.
I know.
And it was so fun to just like see you go so far. When you went into that, were you like so confident, like I'm going to make it, they're going to take me, or were you petrified?
Oh, absolutely not confident. I didn't want to go. My mom made me audition. She straight up made me audition. She was like, you're doing this. I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell my friends I'm auditioning for a show, go there, not make it, have to tell everybody I didn't make it. Like, I'm just not doing that. I was not about it. Like, I really, really wasn't.
Because you were 18.
Well, I just turned 18. I was still a senior in high school. And to be honest, like, I really, really did not think that there was anything more for me after graduating high school when it came to dance. Like, I didn't see myself doing this professional world at all.
Did you think you were going to be like a cougarette and go that route?
I actually never really wanted to do that either. I was fully like my senior year of high school, I had a full ride academic scholarship to UVU. I was already signing up for classes. I wanted to become a physical therapist. Like, cute. I was like, I had a plan. Yeah. Like, I was like, this is what I'm doing. And like, we'll see, like, I'll still dance and do classes and stuff, but I didn't have like, oh, I've got to be on Cougarettes. I've got to go do these. Like, I really didn't. And it kind of like, it bums me out for myself that I didn't see the potential. Yeah. But I didn't think it was possible for me. And not because I was like, I wasn't like this big, like I'm not good enough. It was kind of just like, okay, that's it. Like, that's probably just all I'm going to do. Yeah. So I was not confident in it at all. Thank goodness for my mom. She literally makes me go. The second I get there, I'm nervous, but at the same time, like, I love that.
The pressure.
I love the pressure. And I know that about myself. It's like, I'm terrified of it, but I love the pressure. I love being pushed and I love like having to prove myself. It's a really fun thing for me. Yeah. So of course I go and I'm just like all in. Like, it wasn't like I was there insecure. Like, when I got there, I'm like, oh,
game face.
Yes, I'm all in. And the audition went so well. So after that, I was like, okay. But I still didn't think like, oh, I'm going to be on the show. But I got this glimmer of like, maybe I'm better than I think I am. Yeah. Like, maybe I'm actually pretty good at this thing. Yeah. So audition went well. And then, of course, you had the Vegas week, which they don't really do that anymore, but they had the Vegas week. And I just went into that with like kind of not really any crazy expectations, but I'm just like, I'm just going to do my best. Cause like I made it further. I didn't even think I'd make it to this point. So then Vegas week happens and truly it's such a blur that you don't even have time to grasp what's going on. Bet.
Like, learn this dance. Okay.
Yes. And like, you literally don't have time. Like, you're so happy that you made it to one round, but you're already learning a new dance and being judged. So you have no time to be like, yay. It's just like, and then at the end, it's like, okay. But at the end of that, we still didn't find out. So at the end of that, I found out, I think I'm in like the top 40. Like, they got us down to 40. Yeah. Then we had to wait even longer, fly out to LA to get told if we were going to be on or not. And I made it on the show. And literally the coolest, most surreal moment for me, just because up to this point, I really didn't think that was going to be my path. Yeah. So it was insane. And I'm so grateful for a supportive mom who was like, no, you're doing this.
Because what'd you do for school at that point? Were you just like, I'll finish with my GED, I'll graduate early?
So it worked out perfect because the auditions, like the preliminary ones that came to Salt Lake City, because the auditions came here. And that's why it was so easy for me to go to. My mom's like, they're here. Like if we had to fly to it, my mom probably still, she would have.
Lindsay,
there's
your
no
bags.
way. There's no way. She would have still gotten me there. But it was in Salt Lake City. And that was like in February. And then the Vegas week, I wasn't until May, I want to say.
Okay, so you would have been done with school.
Yeah, I was done with school. I didn't have to miss any school. I graduated, all good. Like I didn't miss anything. And then the taping started in June. So yeah, it worked out well. Yeah, it worked out good.
It was perfect. And what was that experience like being on TV?
Crazy, because it wasn't my first time. Before that, I had actually been on TV a couple times.
Okay.
Of course, like a bunch of local news stations would have me and my like friends come and dance and do things. So little stuff like that. But actually, growing up, one of my main ballroom coaches was Mark Ballas, who was a pro on Dancing with the Stars, and he actually had 2 different times where they did like a feature of young talent and they flew our dance studio out there and me and my dance group danced on the show. So I did that 2 times, like once when I was 14, again, I think when I was 16. So it's little experience, but like I had been on TV, but it's
kind of
different.
understood.
Kind of, yeah. But this was a whole different ballgame because I wasn't just dancing for fun. I'm dancing to be judged and then voted on and be told
to win.
Yes, and to win.
Yeah.
And like, am I good enough? And people you're actively being like judged. So, and the pressure's all on me. Like it's about me. It's my name. It's not just like this Utah group is dancing. It's Lindsay ARNOLD. So it was crazy, but I feel like it was the perfect intro to what my life was going to become. I didn't know at the time, but like everything I did on So You Think You Can Dance, I feel like really prepared me for the rest of my career.
How did you get approached to do Dancing with the Stars?
So after So You Think You Can Dance, I went on tour with them like right after, which was really cool. It was a lot of work. Tour is hard. Tour is very hard, but so fun. And also
your body is probably broken.
Yes, but I also was 18 years old. So I look back, I'm like, you're fine. Like I did that when I was much older and it was way harder. Yes. So, but tour is hard, but it was so fun. It was my first time touring as well. So I did that. During the tour, I got reached out to by a Dancing with the Stars producer because a lot of people that go on So You Think You Can Dance as ballroom dancers end up doing Dancing with the Stars because it's the perfect audition. It's like
perfect.
The producers of Dancing with the Stars get to see how you are on camera, how you just handle yourself, all the things. Yeah. So they reached out to me. And I actually knew some of them just because of the prior things that I'd done. But they reached out and they're like, we're interested in you, but we're not like, it wasn't like they were like, you're for sure on. But they said, we're interested in you. And we just want to see like if you'd be available / want to do this. And I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But then, of course, didn't hear for like 2 months after that. So I'm just thinking like nothing's happening. They forgot. I'm just like, I'm not holding my breath. I'm like, okay, this is probably nothing, but cool that they even thought of me. But like, I'm not going to count on it. But then I'm back home. It's like, mid-February. I'm honestly, because I pushed school back. I literally was like enrolled. I pushed school back. I'm like, I'll start in the spring semester or whatever. Yeah. And I'm kind of like getting ready, like, okay, I'm just going to do that because Dancing with the Stars isn't happening. Like, this was fun. Got to do my thing. Now it's time to like get to school.
Be an adult and go to school.
Exactly. Like, I thought that was it. I get a text from a producer. And so random, like, hi, Lindsay, random question, how tall are you? And I'm like, that's really weird.
Text how tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Same.
Are you? See, I used to say 5'4", and then I actually measured myself, and I'm 5'5". I've said 5'4" for like 10 years.
You probably grew. Do you know during your pregnancy you grow? Do you? Like, do your feet ever get bigger after pregnancy?
But yeah, my feet get bigger. But that makes sense because you're like so much weight just like stretching. But I'm like taller. I feel like I'm shrinking because I'm just like like during pregnancy.
I definitely when you get older you shrink. Yeah. But I heard in pregnancy you get a little bit taller and your feet get a little bit bigger.
Maybe that's it because I'm like I've been lying to everybody for my whole life.
You're 5'5".
Okay, I'm 5'5". But anyway, so that was the text I get, and I'm like, that's weird. Text her my height. Not even like 30 minutes later, I get a call. Literally, Matt, like this is out of the blue too. Get a call. Hey, Lindsay, how would you like to be a pro on Dancing with the Stars this season? I was like, I'll never forget. I was sitting in my kitchen at my parents' house. My mom was in there, and like nobody even knew what this call was about. We were all just like, what? And they're like, of course. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, hey, we need you down in LA tomorrow. You're going to be meeting your partner. Packed my stuff up that night, drove myself to LA the next day with my car full of everything I could fit in there.
Oh my gosh.
And I started with my partner that next day.
Who was your first partner?
Victor Ortiz.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a boxer. That honestly feels like a different lifetime. Like I literally am like, oh my gosh, that feels like forever ago. Like a different.
Because that would have been 2016?
Yeah. No. Like 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. It was 10
gosh.
years ago. I know. It
That is
really feels
crazy.
like I don't even know if I feel like it was a different person. Like I'm like out of body. Like when I imagine
That's
that
so crazy.
experience, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so long ago. But yeah, so that's how it happened. It was such a whirlwind and just so crazy, but so awesome. I'm so grateful for it.
Well, and in that industry, you know, did you ever have a point where you're like, okay, I have to set boundaries with like who I am as a person. I don't want to say this or do this, or there's certain things that I'm not going to do, but you see like everyone else is doing it. Did you ever have moments like that?
Oh, absolutely. I think going out, especially in that industry in LA, it's so easy to just like conform to what everybody's doing. And it's so easy to feel the pressure to conform because you want to be good enough. You want to fit in. You want to be what they need you to be for the job that you're trying to get. And I wouldn't say that I don't know. It's interesting because looking back, like in my early seasons on the show, I definitely tried to, I feel like I spent a lot of time trying to prove myself and be something to like be good enough when really I should have just been myself. It's funny because my first season, I was a pro on Dancing with the Stars. But then after that, for 4 seasons, I was on Troop. So after that first season, I essentially got demoted. I mean, Troop is still an incredible position.
Yeah.
And I think if that had been how I started, I would have been so pumped.
So, yeah.
But to go from like the high to like, oh, you weren't quite good enough, so we're putting you down on Troop.
Yeah.
That was a kick in the butt for sure.
Yeah.
And that kind of kickstarted this whole like me trying to be what I thought everybody wanted me to be so that I could get the job that I wanted. And honestly, it just hurt me. Like it really did. It didn't make it any better. I was on Troop for 4 seasons. I remember the first 2 seasons I spent honestly kind of depressed and like a little bit just like I was happy with where I was at. And it was that feeling of like knowing like so many people would kill to be where you are, but then not feeling like fully grateful for it. And I hate that. I hate that I wasted any time doing that. Finally, after about 2 seasons of that, because every season I would wait, I would like wonder like, are they going to give me a partner this season? No, we're going to have you on Troop. And truthfully, like I didn't get that much feedback. I do remember one time a producer saying to me like, we just want to see more of your personality. And that was really weird to me because I'm like, but what does that mean?
Yeah, like how do I do that?
Like how do I be more me? But then it kind of clicked to me like, and I spent my time trying to like be more, just like more of everything. Yeah. More sexy, more obnoxious, more like energetic. And it just was like so exhausting because I'm like, why? Can imagine. Like if I'm going to get the job because I'm being something I'm not, then why would I even want it? And that's one of the biggest things I tell people like when they ask for like, what's your biggest advice? I'm like, don't chase a job if it's not right for you. Like, don't change yourself to get a job because once you get that job, you're not going to be truly happy if you're acting any way other than how you naturally are. Yes, exactly. So I spent a couple seasons trying to like be what I thought everyone wanted me to be. And I was miserable. And I actually remember, so my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, he was just like, Lindsay, you're not happy and you're doing a job that literally so many people would kill to do. So stop trying to like, stop focusing on what you don't have and just sit in where you are and just be grateful and appreciative. You have no idea how long this will last. So don't waste any time like being ungrateful or being stressed about not being good enough. Just be proud of where you're at. Yeah. And that was such a big, it was kind of like, to be honest, he was kind of pretty harsh with me about it because he was just like, I'm looking at you and I'm so proud of you. And 5 years ago, if I told you you were here, you'd be so proud. And you're sitting here doubting yourself and not feeling like grateful or proud. And I'm really glad that I had that because I just kind of flipped that switch and was just like, you know what? I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to have fun. I'm just going to do the best that I can. And the rest is out of my hands. And another season went by and it was the best season ever. And then I had another season on Troop. And truly, I feel like that was the first time where I went an entire season and just felt like myself. Like I had fun. I wasn't doubting myself. I was confident in who I was. And then that next season, I got brought back to be a pro. And I really believe it's because I finally just let go of like all of these expectations of me. And I was like, this is me. And if this isn't enough, then I don't want this. But it was enough. I just was spending so much time worrying about that.
Trying to be something.
Yes. But going back to like feeling like I have to say something or do something, I feel like it's interesting because on TV and like with any reality show, they have producers on there who are trying to create a storyline.
For sure.
And I think I was really grateful that I had a lot of people and mentors that had done this before. Like, for example, like people like Mark Ballas, who I'd known for so long and had been on the show. And he was really good about telling me, like, Lindsay, you don't have to say or do anything you don't want to. Like, you don't have to do it.
Oh, that's good.
And I feel like I'm really grateful for that, because as a young dancer, somebody who's trying to
you're very impressionable.
yes. And also you are worried, like, if I don't do this, am I going to lose my job? And of course, I still thought like that for a while, but eventually I realized, I'm like, I don't have to say and do everything that I'm asked. Now, nobody really, it's not like I ever got asked to say or do something that was like terrible.
Yeah.
But for example, like if they want me to say a storyline or like say something that I didn't really feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful that I kind of was just like, no, like I'm not going to say something if I don't feel it or if it's not true to who I am, because what's the point? That's just dumb and people will see right through it. So
your outfits on Dancing with the Stars are quite sexy.
Oh, yes.
And I'm sure with ballroom growing up, they always kind of are a little more scandalous.
Absolutely, yeah.
And was there ever talk like, oh, I can't wear this? Like when you first started, were you like, this is a little too much? Or were you like, no, this is the job. Like this is my costume?
Honestly, that. Like I never really questioned myself, and I credit that to my parents, because like you said, growing up as a dancer, I mean, I was walking around in ballet leotard and tights, biker shorts, sports bras, all the things. And my parents did such a good job of like helping us to feel confident no matter what. That our confidence and that our like value is not centered around what we're wearing.
Yeah.
And that we can feel confident and like be proud of ourselves no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for that, because I feel like it would have been easy for me to feel insecure about it or think that I was doing something wrong. But going out to LA, I was so excited. Like that's the thing too, is I feel like my parents really helped me celebrate the beauty of that. Like that's what dance is. Now, of course, there are ways that you can take it too far. And it's awesome because on Dancing with the Stars and even on So You Think You Can Dance, like they want us to feel comfortable. They don't want to make us feel uncomfortable. They don't want us to do anything that we don't feel like is true to ourselves, especially when it comes to costuming. But I was all about it. I love it. I love the fun costumes. I think it's what ballroom is. It's a little risque. It's sexy. It's
the glitter,
skin,
the feathers, the everything.
Exactly. So I never really had those moments where I was like, oh, I can't wear that. I don't want to do that. And I think it's just because my support system like really supported me and celebrated me in whatever way I wanted to express myself when it came to costumes.
I love that. Because you also sometimes in Utah, people are very like shameful with the costumes because of religious beliefs.
Absolutely.
Like, you can't wear this. And it's like, let's just flaunt what we're doing.
Yes.
Like this is our dance. This is our expression. This is how we're showing ourselves.
Exactly. And I just think that like we shouldn't care what other people are doing. If they feel confident and happy and proud of what they're doing, then let them be. So
they're not hurting anybody.
Exactly. And that's how my parents raised me, to look at other people. So I never felt like anybody. I mean, if people looked at me like that, which they did, let's be honest.
I'm
been
sure
judged up the wall for every single thing that I've worn, but I'm grateful that my parents really instilled in me, like, if you feel good about it, if your family supports you in it, then don't worry about what other people are going to say, because they will. Everyone's going to say something always. There's always going to be something negative to say, but just don't listen to it or let it affect you.
I think you looked hot as hell in every
Thank
single
you.
one. And
it's so fun.
It looked amazing. Speaking of looking hot as hell, though, your body is a big part of dance.
Yes.
And when you're on TV, everyone's looking at your body.
Yep.
For me, that would be terrifying. Did they ever affect your body image? Did you ever struggle with any sort of body image issues or eating disorders?
So I'm very grateful that I've never struggled with an eating disorder. I don't feel like I've ever had body dysmorphia, but I will say for sure I became way more conscious of my body when I started performing on TV. Like it's impossible not to.
Yeah.
You have people commenting, and you have people commenting good and bad. And sometimes the good is stressful too, because they might point out something that's a positive, but then you're so stressed about keeping that positive because you think that's like your defining feature, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's so interesting how it makes you so aware, and that's stressful. And then on top of that, not only are people looking at my body all day, but as dancers, you're literally standing in front of a mirror all day long, judging yourself. And you're not just judging the way your body looks, but you're judging the way your body moves. Like as a dancer, I feel like a lot of things that would get to me is like sitting there being like, oh my gosh, I'm not as flexible as somebody else, or I'm not as good as somebody else. And I feel like that really can affect the way that you look at your body. But at the same time, I think that dance really did help me understand my body and help me look at it as more than just the way it looks, if that makes sense. Like, I really think I judge myself harder on my body's abilities rather than like the way it looks, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I get really frustrated and down on myself if I'm not able to perform something the way that I think I'm supposed to, or I'm not able to do some like trick or something that other people can do, which is interesting. So I don't know. But yeah, being on TV, social media, because social media kind of blew up when I started being on TV. It wasn't really a thing before that.
No.
And now I have people looking at my body, commenting on my body, not just my body, but my appearance. I mean, everything just can pick you apart in every single way. So yeah, that's definitely been something that I've had to check myself on often and make sure that the insecurities I feel, because we're all going to be insecure about things, but like I have to really check in with myself like, okay, why am I feeling this way? Is it because somebody else said it, or because I genuinely feel like something needs to change, or where is it coming from? And let's like weed out the crap that we don't need to deal with.
So you never felt pressure to be like, okay, I need to look this way. I need to lose 2 more pounds. I need a 6-pack, 8-pack, because those outfits show it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are definitely weeks where I've always been like kind of interesting about my stomach, because I feel like I've always wanted to have that like 8-pack look, which I'm not going to say that I don't have a good stomach. Like, I'm not going to try to be delusional and be like, I'm proud of my body. It's great. Yeah. But I've never had those like shredded 8-packs. And I remember being very like aware of that when I started Dancing with the Stars, because there's other girls on the show who have that. And I'm just like,
ripped on the show.
Yes, I know. So I remember there'd be weeks where like I'd have to be, I knew I was dancing and my stomach was going to be showing. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to be really careful with what I eat this week. And part of that is like, part of it is kind of just what comes with it. And part of it, I'm mad at myself for thinking like that, because it's just like, come on. But then at the same time, like, you want to look your best. I wanted to put my best foot forward. I wanted to look like I fit the role. And that's hard to navigate sometimes, because there's a difference between taking care of your body so you can do what it needs to do. Mm-hmm. And at my time, it needed to do a lot of physical activity. Yeah. But then there's also like taking care of your body because you want it to look a certain way, which I think is never going to be a long lasting way to look at it.
Yeah. And like you said, people are commenting on it too, which then puts that pressure. Like, I do want that 8-pack because someone's going to mention it or say something or make me feel like I need it.
Exactly.
So I need it. And
exactly.
Yeah, I could never, ever be on television showing my body. I'd be like terrified. Well, it would be very scary.
You'd be amazing. And honestly, any way you put yourself out there, especially on TV, is scary. But I think it's also cool because it's like very vulnerable and just shows that you have strength. And I feel like people really respect that. And I've also learned that most of the time people aren't judging you as harshly as you're judging yourself.
So
like,
true.
Of course there's the haters and there's the people that are going to say everything, but like, that's not the majority. So don't let that feel like it's like, oh, this is everybody's opinion of me.
For sure. Your partners, have you ever had a partner that you were like, oh, this is going to be rough? Or have you been able to vibe really well with every partner?
So I didn't really vibe with my first partner, if I'm being honest.
Well, you were also 18.
I was very young. He also was just not like, he was not the great. I think even if we had to
do it now.
I mean, I think I would have handled it a lot better. Yeah. Because I know how to deal with difficult people a lot better now. Yeah. But we did not vibe. Let's just say we have not spoken since that. Nothing like bad happened. We just didn't vibe. Yeah. But every other partner, like, no one believes me when I say this. And I feel like I have to mention that I didn't vibe with my first so that people believe me when I say this. Yeah. Every partner since then, I genuinely call a friend. Like, I still talk to them. I still keep in touch with them. I got really lucky. But then again, I think a lot of it too is like, you have to be, that's not to say that like everything always went perfectly smooth with all of these people. You have to work at it. And as the pro, it's your responsibility to relate to your partner, to find common ground, to be patient, to be understanding, to deal with their emotions. Like, it's your responsibility to do that. It really, really is. And I would say like 9 times out of 10, you can make a friendship with somebody if they're like at least willing to give 20%. Right. And so, but it's like, there's always things like, I won't say that like, that means we never fought and never had moments, but I genuinely call all of them friends. Like, I could call any of them right now and have a conversation with them, which is pretty cool. And I feel really lucky to be able to say that.
Is that not super common with other partners?
What? I don't know. I feel like, for the most part, people do become friends, but also there are some not fun people that come on the show. And like, you can put up with them for the season and everything can be fine during the season, but like, they're just probably not people you're going to be hanging
you can
out.
Be professional.
Yes,
take it professionally.
But then there's also the ones that it's like, they can't even be professional and it's just terrible. And I'm so grateful that I haven't had any of those.
Yeah. Have you ever felt uncomfortable with a partner?
Nope, never. ever. Like they've always been, well, I guess my first partner was interesting only because the dynamic was weird where I just felt like he was single. I at the time had a boyfriend, but I wasn't like married. So to some guys, that's pretty much
That's
single.
free. Yeah.
Which I absolutely hate. But there was a weird dynamic there because he definitely just thought that I would be like, oh, I just want to be all over you. And I was like, no. And then that put a rift because I think his ego was a little bit hurt.
Yeah.
And that just made it uncomfortable. So I wouldn't say I was comfy with him. Like we weren't like, I didn't go to rehearsals every day like at ease. It was a little bit like, this isn't fun. But with everybody else, I never felt uncomfortable ever. Now, that's not to say we didn't get in fights. Like when I tell you, honestly, I tell people that like your partnership on the show is like a mini marriage for like 3 months.
Well, you're with each other all the time.
All the time. And there's no like pleasantries, like getting to know each other. It's like dive right in. We're touching each other. We're dancing together. We now are like spending more time with each other than our own spouses if we have them. So there's definitely fights that come with that, moments of just like, but I'm grateful that with all of mine, it was just like a marriage. Like you have your fights, you get over it, you love each other, you move forward.
Did your husband ever feel not threatened, but a little jealous of partners?
So I say this all the time and I feel like people don't believe me, but no. So Sam, my husband, he is literally the best. We have been together since high school.
Yeah, high school sweetheart.
We started dating when I was 15 and I'm in the thick of dancing. I have a ballroom partner, Brandon.
Yes.
We travel all over the world together. We travel by ourselves. We stay in hotel rooms together by ourselves. And just from the beginning of our relationship, he was used to me spending a lot of time with other guys, dancing with them, being very close with them, and honestly having guys as my best friends. Like that was very much me. Not to say that I didn't have girlfriends, but a lot of guys were my best friends. So that was just the norm from day one. And he also was very, I mean, we wouldn't still be together if he didn't, if he wasn't down with it. Because some guys wouldn't. Like I had a boyfriend before Sam, and we broke up because he couldn't handle the fact that I was like this close with a guy.
Yeah, he wasn't confident enough in himself and your relationship.
Yeah. So I think like right off the bat, I knew like, okay, Sam's down for this. Like he's fully invested in this, and it never faltered. Like going on the show, every single partner that I've had, all the sexy dances I've done with them, the costumes I wear, the trips that we do together, the time that we spend together, not once has he ever felt insecure or like jealous or nervous at all. And I'm so lucky because I tell you right now, if the roles were reversed, I would be a psychopath. Like I am the jealous type 100%.
Yeah.
And Sam's just not. So I don't know how he does it, but he's just very confident. He also knows that that's what it is. Like
that
also,
is it.
It's always so funny to me because everyone like people ask like, okay, were those people really hooking up? Was there really a showmance? I'm like, you guys, it's very possible for people to have chemistry on the dance floor, do sexual dances together, and have absolutely nothing going on.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's very foreign to people who didn't grow up dancing or grow up around dance. Because to you, you're like, you don't touch somebody like that unless you want to hook up with them. But that's not the case. Like as dancers, we're telling a story. It's about like maintaining the integrity of the dance.
Yeah.
And Sam always knew that. So when I was doing sexy dance with my partners, he wasn't looking at it like, oh my gosh, well, are they doing that off the dance floor too?
Yeah.
He's like, cool, good job. And he has been my number one supporter since day one. I'm so like truly so lucky. I would not be where I am without him today. Truly. Like, yes, I'm talented, but like he supported me through all of it. And it's cool because he really was with me every step of the way.
Yeah. Through it, all of it.
Yep.
So circling back to Dancing with the Stars, what was your biggest like pinch me moment besides winning?
Oh, I was going to say that was winning.
That's huge.
Yeah.
But other than that, was there a moment where you're like, wow, I am famous. I am amazing. I am a pro. I am a star. I am all the things.
To be honest, I feel like, I mean, honestly, I really don't even feel like I could say right now, like I'm famous. Like I never really, not to say that I don't understand and I don't like see the reach and the people that support me and the people that follow me and like love what I do, but I still don't feel like I would say to anybody like I'm famous, I'm a star. Like I just don't feel that way about myself. Not in like a negative way, like I don't think I'm good enough. It's just kind of like that feels so weird to me to say that.
You're humble. That's what it is.
I don't know. It just feels weird. Like it feels weird to say that, to be like, oh, I'm famous. So I don't know if I ever really had that moment. I think the pinch me moment came in just I remember having one of these every season, and it was usually like the last week or the finale or something. Just like dancing in a dance and recognizing like where I was and being like, this is just insane. I remember it happened every season. I mean, I'm going to go back to my season with Jordan. Obviously, winning was a pinch me moment, but that whole season, just like the whole build up, getting to the finale, doing my freestyle in the finale with Jordan was such a pinch me because it was like, I'm here. Like it was an out of body experience where I remember like dancing, but then like looking at myself dancing, being like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like if I had told myself this when I was a kid, I would have never believed it. And it was just, yeah, I think I had a lot of little moments like that where it was just, it was very surreal, just grasping the fact that I was actually living what I thought was only a dream. So I feel like it happened a lot, if I'm being honest.
That's kind of incredible though, to just picture you in the dance. You know that all these people are watching you and you're just in the moment being like, oh my gosh,
yes,
I'm here.
Yeah.
I freaking did this. I'm doing this. That's really cool.
The last time that happened to me, and I actually still remember it was so vivid, was my last Dancing with the Stars tour that I did. It was actually right before COVID happened. We got shut down like in the middle of our tour and got sent home. And it was so crazy because 4 days before the COVID shutdown, I found out I was pregnant. On tour. I'm on the road by myself, find out I'm pregnant. Then we're doing the shows.
With Sage, right?
With Sage, yep, my first pregnancy. And as soon as I got pregnant, because basically so I find out I'm pregnant, but we still don't know that we're getting shut down because of COVID. But I remember the day that with COVID and everything, they're like, okay, this is really bad. They're sending us all home tomorrow. And I just had this overwhelming feeling. I'm like, this is the last time I'm going to perform on tour. Because I knew, I'm like, once I have kids, I'm not going to be going out on the road. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. And that night when I performed, literally the most out of body experience I've ever had. It was like I was watching myself dance because I was just like, this is the last time I'm going to be doing this, which the tour, like I said, I touched on it earlier. It's so hard, but it was so fun. Yeah. You're out there performing in front of people that love you, that have watched you, that support you. Like it's real time. You're seeing the reach that the show has, and they're so fun to perform for. And I just remember the entire show. And it was crazy too because nobody else knew I was pregnant. So nobody else knew like this is my last one. Everybody's just thinking like, oh, we'll do this next season. But I'm sitting there. And
you're like so emotional.
Yes. Yeah. I remember I actually started because we were all like, this is our last show, like a little bit emotional. But I normally don't get that emotional. And I was crying. And I remember one of my friends being like, geez, Lindsay, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm just really sad. And she's like, that's weird. You usually don't get like this. Yeah. But it was such an interesting, like, pinch me moment of like, okay, this is a chapter of my life kind of coming to an end because I'm now going to be a mom and I'm not going to be going on tour anymore. So that was interesting for me.
But then you did come back.
I did. I came back to the live show, but not the tour. Yeah. Part. The tour is so different just because it's like you're literally you're living on a bus. You go to 60 different cities, perform. We did 72 shows, 60 cities over like a 12-week period. You're in a new city every single day. You're living out of a suitcase. Like it would never work with kids.
Yeah, no.
But yes, so I find out I'm pregnant. I missed that season, but then I came back and I told myself I would. Like I always knew. I was very ready to have babies. Like I wanted to get pregnant. We were trying. It was all the things. And I told myself like I want to have a baby. And then I really want to come back and see how it is. Like I want to commit to that and just come back and give it a shot and see how it goes. So I'm glad that I did that. And then also kind of led into what ended up happening. So
how did you do that? How were you able to be a mom? First of all, how did you give birth and then look the way you looked after giving birth?
You're so nice.
Were you just immediately like, okay, we need to get back into it? Like at your 6 weeks, you're like, all right, let's go.
So it's actually crazy. So during my pregnancy, it was pretty shocking for me. This is the first time my body is like rapidly changing. Yeah. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do workout wise. I'm not dancing anymore. And I knew I wasn't going to be doing the next season because I'm like, I will literally be like 30 weeks pregnant at the start. So it was a scary time for me. I'm not going to lie. Like this was the first time in my life where I felt super just like, I don't know. I just felt scared because I'm like, my body's changing. I don't know what I'm doing. I want some sort of physical activity because that is something that I've done my entire life. Yeah. Like that's how I control every emotion in my body is by moving it. So it was very stressful. And that's actually why I started my workout program, the Movement Club. Yeah. So the idea for that started while I was pregnant. Okay. Because I remember it's the start of COVID, can't go to gyms. I'm not dancing. I'm pregnant. I'm looking for like fitness platforms that make me feel like safe to move while pregnancy, but also still challenge me. Like I feel like you either had like the really intense fitness programs that were just so intimidating. And I'm like, I don't want to work out with this girl who's like literally in the best shape of her life, and I'm just going to feel bad about myself.
Yeah, I'm pregnant. I can't do this.
Exactly. But then I also didn't want to do like, I feel like there's pregnancy
simple
programs. Yes.
Yoga, stretch.
Thank you. Yes, that was exactly it. And I was like, you know what? I guarantee you there's people that feel this way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why don't I create something that can be for people like me who are feeling this way? And I started filming and creating my workout program at 24 weeks pregnant. I filmed and created workouts all throughout my pregnancy. Before having Sage, from like weeks 24 to week 36, I filmed 40 different workout videos to put on my program. It was absolutely insane. I cried every single day. Like I literally cried because I was, first of all, just so like I committed to it, and I was like, I'm going to do this no matter what. I wasn't going to let anything stop me.
Yeah.
But I felt so crazy. I felt like imposter syndrome of like, why am I doing this? Like, who's going to want to work out with me while I'm actively gaining weight? I'm actively, my abs are disappearing. Like, I just felt like I didn't look like what fitness people should look like.
Yeah.
But then that's what kind of drove me to do it even more, because I'm like, that's not what it's about. And that's exactly the reason that I'm doing this, is for people who just want something that's relatable, approachable, no pressure, no intimidation, and it's for everyone no matter what stage of life they're in. And so I filmed all of that throughout my entire pregnancy. We launched the program right after Sage was born. And then starting at 6 weeks, I was filming 2 videos every single week to release onto the program. I'm really grateful for it because it held me accountable.
That's what I was going to say. It was probably something to like not look forward to, but hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And
to be honest, it was tough. It really was. But like at that point, I'm like, I'm already doing this. I can't bail. It's like this. It's like you're not going to just stop doing it because it's hard. People are counting on you. You have a community behind you. They're looking to like have new content out. Yeah. So I didn't really have a choice. And I'm so grateful because it kept me accountable, it kept me consistent, and helped me so much through postpartum. And then also really helped me get back into dancing shape to do the season. Because I hate to say that, like I hate saying that I needed to get into shape after having a baby, because I don't think that that's what anybody should think about. Yeah. But if I wanted to do my job on Dancing with the Stars, I did need to get my body. That's part of it. It is. It's not me being like vain. It's the truth.
Like if you were a teacher, you'd have to read your school lessons and get prepared.
You have to be prepared.
Whatever your job is, when you're in postpartum, you got to get back into it if you want to do it. So
it was stressful because it was a whole new ball game. I had a C-section with my first, which meant that, I mean, honestly, looking back, I don't know any different because, but I feel like that took a little bit longer, and I was a little bit nervous and more unsure about what I could do. It took me a little bit longer to feel like I regained my core strength, like for sure, but I don't have anything to compare it to. So it could be exactly the same with vaginal, but I don't know. It was stressful. It was hard, but my workout program really held me accountable. Like that's what made me move my body every single day, and also made me fall in love with it in a whole different way. Yeah. Because while I was pregnant, it became less about like, I'm moving my body, I'm working out so that I can look good, or I can look like I'm in shape, because I wasn't going to. Yeah. I'm literally rapidly gaining weight, as I should, like as you should during pregnancy.
But that's the first time in your life that's ever happened.
Exactly. And moving my body became more about like, this makes me feel good. It helps me get through the stresses of the day. It helps me mentally, emotionally, physically as well, because there were a lot of physical benefits with moving my body throughout my pregnancy. Yeah. So I feel like the pressure was there, but it was also great that I had this really motivating factor to help me get there.
I love that. And I love that you still do it. Like it's still a thing. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to do this while I'm pregnant and postpartum. No. Like you've continued and grown so much with the movement club. So that's awesome.
It's been awesome. It's been so cool how it's evolved so much. Ever since I launched, we put out new videos every single week. But then during my last pregnancy, before I got pregnant, I decided, I'm like, I want to create a pregnancy program that literally is like a in real time program that I film during my pregnancy. Yes. So it's a program that guides people from weeks 4 through 40 of their pregnancy. And I'm literally filming every video in real time. Yeah. You have weekly schedules. And then I just today finished filming my postpartum program.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I also filmed in real time, which was launching next week. So it's been so cool how the program has just kind of evolved with the changes in my life. Yeah. But it's been so cool to see how it fits for so many people out there who are feeling the same way and looking for something like that. So yeah, it's been really special.
Love it. So the real reason why you left Dancing with the Stars is because you wanted to continue growing your family.
Yes. Yep. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it if you want to really unpack
let's unpack it.
So, okay. Like I said, I get pregnant with Sage, my first, and I told myself after this, I want to try going back to the show. I want to try.
Yeah.
I want to give it a shot. I feel like I owe it to myself. I owe it to the show. I owe it to all these people to just try and see how it is. So it was kind of good timing because I had Sage in November. The next season wasn't until August. So I had a good 7 to 8 months, which that's still not a crazy amount of time, but it's better than nothing and better than a couple of months. So it was a good amount of time to wrap my brain around it, to like for Sage to get a little bit older. And I committed to it. I'm like, we're doing it. Now, here's the thing with doing the show before having kids. So my husband, when we first got married, he was doing online school. He was getting his business degree online. So he came out to LA with me for every season. He would move down there with me. And how it works is the show gets me an apartment for the season.
Right.
I move down there. I'm there for the 3-4 months that it's on. And then I come back home. During the first like 3 or 2 years of our marriage, my husband Sam could come with me. And he lived down there with me and he just did school wherever. Yeah. And in fact, in between all those seasons, I would do a tour. So for about 3 years straight, the first 3 years of our marriage, I was literally doing season tour with like maybe a 3-week pause in between each where I could come home and that was it. So
oh my gosh.
Full on, like I went all in. And Sam was so awesome because he could work or he could do school from anywhere. So he'd come with me. He actually came on the road for one of the tours, but he got a job on the road.
No way.
It was so
fun. Did he sleep on the bus and
He
stuff?
slept on the bus, but he had his own bunk because he was an employee of the tour. Like he actually ran the VIP meet and greets for all of us.
Oh my gosh.
It was so fun. Like we look back on that time and it's like, it's funny. He's like, I would never do it again, but it was so fun that we did it. Like such a fun experience. But basically for the first like 2-ish years of our marriage, he was able to come with me everywhere I went. Then he graduates and he gets a job and he has a full-time job here and he works every single day. He's not like a 9 to 5 either. He's like sometimes a 6 a.m. to an 8 p.m. he's just all over the place. So he works here full time. And that's when I started going out to LA for the season by myself. So I would go down there and he would come and visit. And before kids, totally doable.
Okay.
Totally doable. Not fun. Like, of course it's hard.
You miss them.
Of course, but it was worth it because it's like, this is my passion. You're following your dreams. I'm following mine. And yes, like, and we're very lucky because that could have been really rough on our marriage. And it's hard. But like with Sam and I think we just got really good at doing long distance and still supporting each other.
Well, like you said, you had been doing it since you were 15.
Yes. So it was really easy, natural. I don't want to say easy. That's a lie. But it was natural and it worked for us. But then once we had Sage, it's different. So cut to me having Sage. It's the summer rolling around and it's about time for me to head out there. I'm just basically like, I'm not leaving Sage here. Like that's not happening. Like if I'm going out there, she's coming with me, which my husband didn't fight me on it. But of course, like that's a huge sacrifice. Yeah. Like that's really, really hard. Yeah. Sage is young. She's 8 months. She doesn't really grasp a lot of those things. It's still hard, but she was young, so it worked. But it was hard. Me and Sage went down there. I went down there with Sage by myself. I had to find a nanny out in LA that would come over and babysit during the day. And it was hard. Like it was really hard. It went from the show is such a 24/7 thing. Literally like even you go to rehearsals, but then you come home and you're not done. You're choreographing your dance. You're watching your video. You're stressing over every single thing. You're going to wardrobe fittings. You're going to interviews. You're going to press things. Like it's a 24/7 job. And when you're a mom, that's a 24/7 job. So it was a very, very different experience for me going back to the show after having Sage.
I can imagine.
Very different. It was interesting because I'd go to rehearsal and I'd come home, but I couldn't just
relax.
Couldn't relax. And also I had to shut off. I had to stop thinking about the show. I had to stop thinking about the dance and I had to be a mom. And that made it a lot harder for me to like kind of fully dive into the show, if I'm being honest. And that was hard for me. That kind of hurt because if I don't know, I
like to give it your all.
I like to give it my all. And when I look back, I kind of feel like I don't even kind of feel like I wasn't able to give it my all last season that I was on. I just wasn't. And for good reason, because I was being a mom. Yeah. And like to me, that mattered more than anything in the world. So that was a hard season. It was also really hard being away from Sam now that we have Sage. Like it was hard. It was hard for me to like be there knowing that like Sage didn't have her dad with her. And also Sage, like my family is so close.
Right.
Sage wasn't around her grandparents all the time and her aunts and all the things. Like it was just hard. And I think it was that season that I just really realized like, I think that I'm in a different phase of my life. Like, I think that I've really, like, my priorities are so different. The things that fulfill me are so, so different. And I just, during that season, it was like a really like, okay, like, I've really got to think if I want to do this next time around. So that season was really hard. And then after that, I had a pretty good break again. But at this time, we kind of started thinking that I wanted to try getting pregnant. So we started trying to get pregnant in February after I finished the fall season. And I honestly thought, this was my mentality, because truthfully, at the end of the last season, I was kind of like, I don't think I want to do this again.
Really?
This was really, really, really hard. I don't feel like I was able to show up in either areas enough. And if I had to pick one, I want to pick being a mom. Like, this is what I love. This is what I want. And this is what I've like chosen to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm like losing my train of thought.
Oh, you're
okay. So
we're in it. We're
okay.
in it.
Trying to get pregnant. We started trying to get pregnant in February. And to be honest, I kind of thought I was just going to be pregnant and I wasn't going to have to make the choice of whether or not I was going to do the show. Gotcha. Like, that's the honest truth. I was like,
I'll be pregnant.
I won't even have to decide because I want to be pregnant and I'm going to get pregnant. But I did not get pregnant. We tried all spring, all summer. July rolls around. It's been about 8 months. Maybe we started trying in January, because by the time I got pregnant, it was 10 months that we had been trying.
Okay.
But essentially,
it didn't take that long with Sage.
No, it took like 3 months. So I was just like, oh, I'll get pregnant. It'll be fine. So trying all summer. And then it gets to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm going to get pregnant, which means I need to decide if I'm going to do the show or not. And that's when things got real. And when I tell you that this is like still the hardest decision I've ever had to make, because there were so many things that went into it. So many just like factors of, this is a show that I've loved my whole life. Like, so many people count on me on this show. I didn't want to just give it up, but at the same time, like, really looking at what fulfills me as a person, and that's being a mom and being with my family. And I think just so much changed. Like, I really think I just started looking at it as like, I've had this incredible run on the show, like this incredible time, and I don't feel like I can give it everything that I used to be able to, because I'm in this new stage of life and I have new things that fulfill me, and I don't want to just do it just to do it. Now, there's so many things that went into play there, because you're thinking financially it's different. But then at the same time, a really big deciding factor for me was that the season that I didn't do because I was pregnant with Sage, I was so stressed that financially it was going to be such a difference. But honestly, that's when I really started to dive into kind of the content creation side of social media.
Which you're great at.
Which has been so great, better than the show, and was able to like allow me to still make.
Yeah, like replace that income.
Yes, replace it. And yes, I could do both at the same time, but to me, I'm like,
that'd be exhausting.
Yes, that'd be really hard. And I did that the last season, and it was really hard. So I kind of looked at it from all different angles. And then also, Sage was older. Sage was older at this point. Taking her away from family, from Sam for that long of time just didn't feel right. And also not being able to give, like, the age, and she still is kind of in this, like, in the stage, she requires so much more attention. Yes. Like, I always used to think that, like, newborns and babies required the most attention. No.
They can
toddlers do.
Yeah.
Toddlers require so much attention. They require, like really, I don't know, just engaged attention, and I just knew I wouldn't be able to give that to her if I went out to the show. I just knew. And for me, it didn't feel right, but it was so hard to actually admit it to myself. Like, I think I knew the second it came to like having to decide, I knew what I wanted to do, but it was really hard. I tried to talk myself out of it. I tried to like come up, when I tell you, me and Sam thought of every single possible thing that we could do to try to make it work.
Yeah. Like fly back and forth.
Yes. But in the end, I was just like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, there was solutions. Of course, there's things that we could have done, but it didn't feel right for me. And then on top of that, we are trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a hassle too. Like, that is, and at this point it had been almost 9 months of trying, and I'm just like, this is important to me, and I want this to happen, and the logistics and all the things. It's funny because looking back, a lot of people were just like, oh, it's because you were pregnant, because I ended up announcing my pregnancy shortly after.
Yeah, like right after.
But it's crazy. I called the Dancing with the Stars producer.
Do you think you were pregnant when you called, but you didn't know?
So no, because I ovulated literally that week, and I found out 2 weeks later.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It's crazy. But I basically called them, and I was just like, it was the hardest call ever. I was bawling, but she was the sweetest, so understanding. She's like, I get it. She's like, I'm a mom. I get it. Like, being a mom is the most important thing ever, and you've just got to do what's best for your family. So I'm really grateful for that.
Well, and if you wouldn't have called her and you got pregnant, would you have been able to even do it in your first trimester, you think?
I mean, it would have been miserable, but I could have done it. Like, I could have, it just would have been miserable. Yeah.
That would have been awful.
It truly was such a blessing because it worked out. And I just remember, like, I remember being so stressed about the decision, but knowing the right choice. Like, I knew that it was the right choice. It was just so hard to actually make it. But after calling the producer and having that conversation, when I tell you, like, the biggest weight was lifted off my shoulder, I felt so much peace about the decision. I never once regretted it, too. Like, really? I was worried that all of a sudden
you'd watch the show and be like,
no, I sat on my couch and I was so at peace, so happy to be a fan. Just, it felt like the perfect kind of just, I don't know, full circle moment of like, I had this incredible run and now it's my time to be a mom. And Motherhood, I love that. Like, I loved it so much. I wasn't sad about it. I wasn't mad that was what I had to do. It was never a place of like, I have to be a mom. It was always like, this is what I want. But it's just hard to make those decisions. But I knew like as soon as I made it, I felt so much peace about it. And I'm really grateful for that because it would have sucked if I had sat there all season just like, oh no. But I felt so much peace and I just knew it was right.
Would you ever go back?
I don't know. Like, I will never say never because who knows? Who knows if maybe in a couple years down the road, my kids are older, it works out. Maybe Sam's job is different. And I don't know. I just don't know. I really I'm going to take it every season because it's just like, I really don't know what place I'm going to be in. And I'm never going to say that I'm just done because it would be so cool if maybe in a few years or in the future, I'm like, you know what? I actually feel like it's possible and it feels right for me right now. Yeah. So
would you ever want to be a judge?
Oh yeah, that would be so fun. The judge would be the ultimate because I could literally live here, fly in the day before, day of even, judge, no pressure at all, hop home. Just kidding. There is pressure on the judges. I mean, it's a stressful job, but but
it's way less stressful.
Yeah, it would be very fun. I would love to do that.
Okay, let's put that in the universe. Anyone,
let's do it.
Producers listening, she'd be a really good judge down the road.
I would love that. That would be amazing.
So hypothetically, if you had to choose any celebrity to be a partner, who would you choose?
Oh, if you went back. If I went back, I think Channing Tatum for sure.
Oh, that would be so fun.
I know.
And he knows what he's doing.
Yes, he would be so good. He's so cute. He was like my childhood crush. I mean, step up. Come on. Oh. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
If you're watching on YouTube.
We would do that move without a doubt.
Kick the water off the floor. Oh.
Yes. So good.
I wasn't a dancer, but I think in another life I was. I think
everybody could be a dancer if they really. Well, I can attest that anyone can dance if they try. If they work hard enough,
not to the level as you, but
maybe not. But they can still do it. You can still get it.
You can still get a little bit.
You can get after it. But yeah, I always say he'd be mine.
Channing Tatum. That's a good one.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, that is kind of a pipe dream. But it'd be pretty cool.
Would Sam get jealous of that one, or would he be
you know what's so funny?
So he'd be like, I want to come actually.
Okay, I have to tell you a funny story. This should just describe Sam because he really he's just so chill. Okay, oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. Who is married to Sierra, the football player?
Oh,
Russell,
not Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
It is Russell Wilson? Okay,
so
I was like.
Russell Wilson, I can't remember so we were at the dance studio and he came. I feel like there was maybe a point where they were talking to him and he came to see what it was all about. And I met him there and he was so cute and we were kind of like.
Vibing.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm dating Sam, so I'm like, but I was like, who? Okay, let's see. We're talking.
You're a cute, pretty girl. We're
vibing. He messages me on Twitter and I can't even remember what he said, but I told Sam and I'm expecting him to kind of be like, oh, he was like, oh my gosh, Lindsay. He's like, honestly, I'd let you go on a date. It's Russell Wilson. He's like, you should just go on a date and just that would be so cool. He's so not the jealous type.
That's literally my husband.
He was like, go. He's like, you should do that. I'm like, wait,
get an autograph too.
Yes, yes. He is just so not like that. So it's pretty funny. So no, I don't think he'd be jealous at all. He'd be like, this is pretty cool. But I mean, I don't think Russell Wilson and Channing Tatum are on the same level for him.
No.
But still.
No.
I don't know if he'd be telling me to go on a date with Channing Tatum Russell. But yeah, I thought that was so funny. I was like, that is just you to a T. He's like, oh my gosh, babe, that's so cool. Keep messaging him. I'm like, what? Honey? I'm like, are you serious? But yeah, that was him.
No, I love that. I can relate. I feel like that would be my husband, especially if it was Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, someone really
huge football guy. He'd be like, oh,
is he
go have sex with him?
He's like, go. Is he crying right now about Aaron?
It's really depressing.
Yeah. I feel
it's really depressing. And I go to the gym and Lisa Wilson goes to the gym. Her son. Why am I blanking on her son's name?
Zach.
Yes. And now he's back at it again. And she's just like, wow, okay. We thought this was going to be a chill season.
Yeah, no.
If anyone even knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Like, my husband's huge in football, so I feel like I know things. But...
I just know that because he literally just told me about it, like, this, I think it was last night, and then he told me about the funny tweet that happened. Did you see that?
Yes. Hate
like,
that
hate
guy.
That man. Yes. And then I'm like, oh wow, so funny. He was so pumped on me. Like, I have to tell you something so funny.
No,
like,
I got the TMZ update, and it was like Aaron Rodgers out for the season because of
Yeah.
Achilles or whatever, and I was like, babe, are you okay?
Yeah, that's devastating.
My husband had like 5 people call him. If that just shows you like how
invested
he is.
Yeah, they're like, it's like some, it's like,
are you okay?
His best friend died or something.
No, it's it's a whole thing.
That is so funny.
Well, I love that Sam is just, not jealous type. That's great.
He's a chill dude. I'm lucky because, like I said, if he were doing my job,
oh yeah,
we wouldn't be together. That's the truth.
Yeah.
We just wouldn't.
So you said he works, so you're not like the main financial provider.
No, I'm not, which is really cool because
Yeah.
I think I'm really grateful for that because I have this, I mean, I love what I do and I plan to do it for a really long time.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for what I've been able to create on social
Yeah.
media. Like, it's absolutely insane. It's just insane. And I'm going to keep doing this for as long as it feels genuine and like natural to me. But it's also really special that like my husband is investing himself into a career that is going to last us forever. So there's not also that pressure. Like, I don't feel this like I have to do this. I'm doing it because I love it and because it provides a really awesome lifestyle that we get to live together. But it's not like a necessity, which I really love.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
To not feel that pressure. I was on my last episode with Demi. We said the same thing, how like, if I blow up and start making tons of money, I tell my husband, I don't want to be responsible. Though.
Yes, like still keep, I know. Well, and
like have your thing too.
Yes, that's the biggest thing is like money aside, like Sam and I, it's really important for us and good for our marriage to like pursue our passions. Like it really, really is. And Sam's the kind of person, he is the hardest worker and he's got to have something that he's working towards. Yeah. And it makes us better people. Because a lot of people have asked like, well, you make enough money. Why is Sam even working? Why doesn't he just support you? Or I'm like, because
he wants to
work. Like, I know that may be foreign, but he really wants to work. And like, I want to support him in that. Just like he supported every single thing that I've done. So I don't know. I love it about him. I really do. And I know that too. I think it's cool. Like, I know there's a lot of people that work together, that the wife does all the work and the husband. I think that's so cool if that's what works for your marriage. At the end of the day, it's like whatever is best for you. But it's like, just because it works for somebody doesn't mean it works for somebody else. And for us, this is what works. And I just think it's like the best for our marriage.
Do you have help? Like, how do you do it all?
So yes, I am very lucky because my family lives really close by. Like my mom is 10 minutes away. My sisters all have kids now. So we honestly are kind of all just fending for ourselves. But then at the same time, like I would take my sister's kids anytime and I know they would take mine too. Right. I hired a nanny at the start of, well, I guess like last fall. She comes like 2 to 3 days a week for a couple hours.
Perfect.
And it's perfect. I kind of just schedule my content needs and all the things I got to get done around the time that she's going to be there. And the rest of the time I'm on my own. So I would say I do like 3 days out of the week just by myself. My husband's at work all day. But honestly, that's how I want it to be. Like I love that I can have like, I can schedule some hours where I can get things done. Yes. But I've never really been one that wanted to have like 24/7 help.
Same.
Because I really just like to do things by myself. Like I'm kind of weird.
I'm a control freak.
Yes, so I am too.
I like things done a certain way.
Yes, and if I'm there, I'm going to do it. Like if I'm there and something needs to be done, I'm not going to let somebody else do it. Like I'm just going to do it. Yeah. And then it's like, what's the point of have somebody there to help you if you're just going to do it all on your own? Exactly. And I also like, I really want to be involved in every single thing that my kids are doing. Yeah. And that's hard. It makes life harder. It makes the days crazier, but I want to be there. Like I want to take them
to the dance.
Yes. To school.
I saw you had like a nail appointment and dance. You're like, we are making this work.
Yes. And some days are absolutely crazy. And some days I'm like, gosh, what am I doing? And it's hard. I feel like it's interesting because, and a lot of people, I don't know, I hate saying that it's hard because I'm very lucky to do what I do.
Right.
But it's interesting because I think a lot of people don't get that like
it is work.
It is work. It really is. And the hard part for me is when it comes to social media and being like a content creator, which is such a strange term. I feel like that's better than like influencer though. Yeah.
It's not as like, I'm an influencer. Yes, I create content.
Yes, I create content. It's a little bit better. Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's interesting because for me, it's tough because with what I do and what we do, it's like the more you grind, the more you put into it, the more money you can make out of it.
Yep.
The more success you're going to have out of
Yep.
it. It's not a job that you turn up for, and whether you put in 2 hours that day or you work your butt off all day long and you're getting paid the same.
Yeah, it's a salary.
Yes, it's not a salary.
No.
If you work hard, you'll have more success, you'll make more money, you'll get more engagement, and those are things that you have to think about. So it is hard because as a mom, it's like I do kind of constantly feel like I'm not ever doing enough. In all aspects. I'm not being a good enough mom. I'm not giving attention to my kids, but then I'm not putting enough into my work so that I can be successful, so I can keep making money, so that I can keep this.
Oh my gosh, like, I feel this so much. And I'm sure you feel it times a million.
Yeah, well, no,
literally, because you have a 1 point something million followers.
But it's all the same. Like, and I say this all the time, like any job that you have, I feel like as moms, we just immediately put pressure on ourselves that we're not doing enough.
Yeah.
And it's so hard. And I say this because I also don't want to say that like influencing and social media content creation, whatever, is any harder than a 9-to-5 job, because that's stressful too. Because I joke to my husband, I'm like, because my husband goes to work every day.
And then he gets to come home.
Yes, then he gets to come home. And I always say, I'm like, man, I would kill to go to an office or go to like a job site and do what I needed to do and then come home. But then guess what? If I had to do that, I'd be sad feeling like I wasn't home with the kids enough, spending enough time with them. So it's like, it's just a constant battle. So I feel for also the moms who do go to a 9-to-5 job and they're gone all day. That would be so hard too, because I know that there's that feeling of like, oh, but I need to be with my kids.
I missed this, or I don't want to miss that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like you always just kind of, I don't know. I just think as moms, we just always attack ourselves and think we're not good enough, and no matter what we're doing.
And in being in this industry, you're having to do both simultaneously. Like at the same time, you're being a mom, but you're also having to respond to DMs or send an email. And so I was joking with my husband the other day, and I'm like, imagine going to work, but our kids are with you, bugging the hell out of you. And that's why when you come home, I'm like frantic, like, I need a minute. I need a minute.
No, literally, I feel exactly the same. And I say that to my husband all the time. I'm like, you could not do it. And he's like, no, I couldn't.
Yeah, no.
You really couldn't. Like,
no.
Work calls, Zoom calls while kids are running around, feeding them lunch, changing a diaper, putting it on mute so nobody hears the kids crying, and then responding quickly when they talk to you. Literally. It's crazy. I mean, moms are freaking awesome. Like, we really are. We're so cool.
We're superheroes.
Whatever you do. And even if you don't work as a mom, your life is hard. Like every day is a 24/7 job.
I will say, I think my life was harder emotionally when I was just a mom, because this was my escape.
Interesting.
Like,
that makes sense.
This gives me something for me.
Yeah.
And when I didn't have this, everything about me was for my kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like I didn't have any of my own purpose.
Yeah, that's so true.
And so I feel like it was harder, honestly.
Yeah,
because all day it's like I'm doing stuff for other people.
I'm
never doing anything for me.
Yeah, I can totally.
So shout out to you guys out there,
I know.
and go find something for yourself.
Yeah,
whether it's going to the gym once a day or whatever. Like, you need something.
And you shouldn't feel bad about it. And I say that, and I make myself feel bad all the time. But I genuinely believe, like, the times that you take time for yourself and the weeks where you just give yourself even just a day that you did something that you enjoy, you're a better mom because of it.
Oh,
and that's the most important thing. But yeah, it's hard. It's so hard. The pressure of being a mom is absolutely insane.
It's a lot. And like I said, your Instagram, and you're just so sweet and calm. And I'm just like, I yelled at my kids just barely. And that's why we can't compare. No. We can't compare because everyone has their moments.
Well, that's the truth, is like, and I feel bad, and people actually have kind of commented on it. Like, I wish you showed more of the hard times. And I'm like, I get that, but also, do you think I'm whipping out my phone while my kid is having a tantrum? Well,
do you
think
I'm
like, wait, keep screaming?
Yeah.
Video.
No,
I'm not doing that. And I don't think, because guess what? If I did that, people would be like, you really shouldn't be posting that of your child.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I do feel bad because I want to make sure people understand that, like, no. Life is not perfect over here.
No.
Yes, it's like I try my best to be calm. I try my best to be patient. And there are days where I'm really good and days where I'm terrible, just like everybody else. I lose my mind. I yell sometimes. I cry at the end of the day because I feel like I was a bad mom. Like, it happens. It happens to everybody. So don't feel like you're alone in that. But I get that, like, social media is hard. But then I also get that there's a reason we don't see those things, because it's not in your instinct to try to document that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I always kind of not roll my eyes, but I'm like, what the heck? When I do see people post videos and it's like they set up their camera to then
have a hard
moment. And I'm like, that's not even my first thought.
Yeah, no,
like, ever.
I'm like, oh my gosh, stop screaming at me.
Like no, I don't. It's hard. I can't. I'm overstimulated. I'm not pulling out my phone right now.
Yeah,
no,
I agree.
for sure. Well, thanks for letting me dumpster deep dive into all things Lindsay.
Of course. This was so fun.
But now we need to take out trash.
Let's do it. I love it. This is new for me, so I'm ready.
We're taking out trash. Personal Trash is sponsored by Babe Original. If you follow me on social media, then you have seen I got rid of my eyelash extensions and I have gone from no lashes to beautiful long lashes thanks to Babe Original's Lash Essential Serum. It's a game changer, and now I am proudly flaunting my beautiful, long, natural lashes. Babe Original's Essential Lash Serum has become an essential in my life, but not only their lash serum, but their Babe Original lip mask and their brow serum. And now they offer hair products to give you long, beautiful, thick, luscious hair. And it is pure magic. I'm thrilled to share that I have a discount code weeklytrash15 for 15% off all of the products at babeoriginal.com. Personal Trash is also sponsored by Unload, where worries are washed away. Are you tired of spending precious hours every week doing laundry and cleaning? We get it. Life gets hectic. That's why they offer a convenient laundry and dry cleaning pickup and delivery service that you can customize to your preference. No more sorting through piles of laundry or rushing to the dry cleaner on your way to work. And speaking of work, they know how important it is to have a clean, organized home. And I personally have experienced the magic of their house cleaning service, and it is unmatched. Truly the cleanest my house has ever been. They leave your home feeling fresh and welcoming so you can focus on the things that truly matter. But Unload is more than just a service. It's a lifeline for busy moms and anyone who needs a helping hand. I've heard from many moms how their services have positively impacted their mental health, giving them the freedom to do more of what they love and not cleaning 24/7. But it's not just for the ladies and the mamas. They are on a mission to empower women and educate men about the importance of sharing household responsibilities. It's a team effort, and Unload is here to make it easier for everyone. Unload is offering 10% off to all Weekly Trash listeners on their laundry, dry cleaning, or cleaning services. It's time to reclaim your time and wash those worries away with Unload. Visit unloadhere.com. That's UNLOADHERE.com today and schedule your first pickup and delivery and use code WeeklyTrash to get 10% off. Because when life gets heavy or messy, Unload is here to help. You've had kind of a crazy week.
Yes, I have.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, I have. Well,
Your
coolest
younger
thing
sister.
ever. Yeah, the coolest thing ever happened. Literally today, the day we're recording, finally the news is out that my baby sister Riley is going to be a pro on Dancing with the Stars this season. I still am just like, I can't even tell you how proud I am and how pumped I am about this. Like, I really do feel like I'm more excited about this than I was for myself. Mostly because it's like, I know what this show can bring to your life. It is truly life-changing. And I'm just so
And she's
so
18,
excited.
like the same.
Yes.
You guys, well, I guess you were.
I was 19, so
19.
she's younger, but it's just, it's so insane. Like, it's my
crazy.
baby sister. Such a full circle moment for me, and I'm just so excited.
Did you have a hand in it at all?
No, that's the thing is so many people think that like okay, first of all, let's go back to Dancing with the Stars and just quickly mention how this whole thing happens. I was on the show for 14 seasons.
Yeah.
Not one of those seasons are you guaranteed to be used on the show. Every season they can choose to use you or not use you, and you don't find out until about a week before you start rehearsing. So every single season I was like, I might not have a job. I mean, once I got into it, I felt pretty confident. I'm like, I wasn't as worried. But at the end of the day, they always could have said, Lindsay, we're not using you this season.
That's so scary.
Just as simple as that. So it's funny to me because I've already started to see people saying like, oh, it's because Lindsay's on the show. I'm like, do you think that I have a hand?
Yeah.
Do you think I have that much control over Dancing with the Stars? And I think some people do think that I have that. No, I don't.
Yeah, no.
I don't. And it's funny because I mean, my sister Riley's definitely going to share the story, but this is how it went down. This is as much of a hand as I had in it. In April, I kind of was like, I knew, because usually on the show they do a troupe, which I told you about.
Yes, yeah.
Which I initially was thinking like, let's get Riley on troupe.
Yeah.
Like that's the natural progression. They're going to have her on troupe. To be honest, none of us thought that she was going to be a pro her first season. We're like, they'll just have her on troupe and then maybe she'll get brought up to pro. So I reach out to Dina, who is the casting director of Dancing with the Stars, in April. And I just tell her, she knew Riley because Riley did Dancing with the Stars Juniors. And I just tell her, I'm like, hey, just so you know, Riley graduates in May. She would love to audition for the show. Like, please keep me updated if you guys have auditions.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize she was that old. That's so cool. I'll definitely let you know if we have auditions. So when she said if, I was a little bit like, dang it, maybe they're not getting new dancers this season. I didn't hear from her for like 2 months. I reached out again. I was just like, hey, like, I just want to make sure I haven't missed anything. Like,
you're
are
doing
you guys
your big sister duties.
Yes. I'm like, I just want to make sure, like, are you guys doing on auditions or anything? She's like, we still don't have anything lined up. I will let you know. Don't hear anything. Like a month later, I get, this is all that I've discussed. I'm not hounding. Like 3-4 weeks later, I get a call. She's like, hey, is your sister Riley available to have a Zoom call with me and the executive producer of the show? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
She does her call. A week later, they call her and tell her she's on the show.
When was this?
This was like, oh my gosh. I think we've known for 3 weeks now.
Okay, so this was like recent.
Yeah, recent. But it was so fun because she had her interview and I like fully prepped. Like we did a deep dive.
Oh yeah.
We did a deep dive. Like this is what they could ask you. If they ask you this, what are you going to say? We did a full like practice. She absolutely nailed her interview. Like obviously.
Yeah.
And then that's what got her on the show. Crazy. But it's funny because I think people think that like I have some pull. Like, I mean, of course it helps that I knew her. Yeah. But they could have
chosen anybody.
Yeah, they could have chosen it. And that's the thing about Dancing with the Stars. They don't do favors. They just don't.
They don't need to.
They don't need to. There are so many dancers that they can use. They don't do favors. They don't keep somebody on the show just because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a show. They're doing what's best for the show. And
they want to make money at the end of the day.
Yeah. And they want it to be good. So it's pretty awesome. And I'm just so proud of her because, I mean, she's so freaking talented. And like dance-wise, she's just insane. But beyond that, and what's most important on the show is like the maturity level and the ability to handle stressful situations. And she's just so awesome. She's so mature for her age. It's crazy.
When did she find out her partner was Harry Jowsey?
So she found out about a week and a half ago, and she met him. And yeah, we were all just like, like kind of just a little bit like, what is happening?
Yeah. Their picture, I was like, oh my gosh.
They look so hot.
You guys are so hot. I know. And I was telling you walked in, I'm like, you know what? Like, she could kiss him, but she's so young. She needs to just like
see. I'm like,
stay away.
Don't kiss my sister. I'm like, no. I'm definitely not doing that. Overprotective sister, for sure. But I don't know. It was interesting because I didn't watch Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah, which might be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe I don't because one of my sisters did, and she was like, ooh, Harry.
Oh yeah,
just because I guess he's kind of known.
Oh, he's on OnlyFans.
Yes, like he's a little, and I
crazy.
guess like I don't know. I feel like he got a bad rap on the show, or was he fine? I honestly don't know.
Honestly, on the show, I think he did great.
Okay.
I think he's had drama after
with
the
like
show.
Okay.
But on Too Hot to Handle, it was,
well, people loved him, right? Like, I feel like he blew up from that show, which isn't normal for most of the people.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I haven't met him yet. I'm actually going to LA tomorrow, and I'm so excited to meet him. But it's been so cool because we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And I'm preparing Riley for anything. I'm like,
because your first time, you were like, we didn't vibe.
Yes. So I'm like, you could totally get along. You could not get along at all. The other thing that sometimes happens, celebs will come on the show and they don't understand how much work it is, and then they don't want to work hard or they don't want to do it. So I'm preparing her for everything under the sun, and he has been so freaking kind, so sweet, so grateful. Also, it's interesting because it's Riley's first season, so you're worried that like he might be like, oh, I have the new pro, like you're not experienced. No, he has been so like complimentary to her, like you're such a good teacher, like this is so cool, I want to do good for you for your first season. Like he's just been so nice to her. So I already love him because that's all that's all I care about.
I'm a Harry fan.
Me too.
I'm a Harry fan.
I am too now. Well, I'm his number one fan now because him and Riley have to make it to the finals. Like it's a must.
I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but like
they've got to. They have to.
They are so hot together, and I can't wait to see them dance together.
I know it's gonna be so.
It's gonna be so fun. Are you gonna try to fly out often to see it?
Oh yes, yeah. I'm probably gonna go to every taping if I'm being honest.
Love it
because it's such an easy, quick flight. Yeah. I'm like, I literally can fly in Tuesday morning, go to the show Tuesday night, come back Wednesday morning.
Yeah. Is your mom like gonna move out there with her?
Oh yeah, she's pretty much been there since Riley went out there, which is good. I'm like, she needs it.
Yeah, because again, she's young, she's impressionable, and the industry can be a little manipulating sometimes.
Totally.
You need to stand your ground sometimes.
Totally. Well, and it's just like the show is so stressful. And then on top of that, like she's never had to do her own laundry, buy her own groceries, get like, I know that sounds
big
so
girl
terrible,
stuff.
But like think about right when you graduated high school, like those are all the first things that you're doing. So it's like she needs a little assistance for the next little bit.
Yeah. But that is crazy that all happened 3 weeks ago.
I know. It's been such a whirlwind.
She was on Good Morning America.
Yeah. Good Morning America this morning. I know. I'm like, I watched. I'm like, this is so crazy.
So surreal.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
So fun. Other than that, any other things, or was that just like the biggest thing for you this
Honestly,
week?
the biggest thing. This week has been absolutely crazy because I feel like I haven't been traveling like hardly at all. Especially I just had a baby. So like we haven't really been
Our
moving.
babies are only like a month apart actually.
Yes, they are.
Yours,
you were June and mine was May.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I remember. That's so fun. So I feel like I'm just now starting to travel, but I've been traveling a lot more because I've been going out. I went out to LA last week. I'm going tomorrow. I go to New York on Monday. And I feel like I'm just trying to like get my shiz together. And let's just say it's not going well. I feel like today has just been like a crapshoot. So it's really nice to sit here and actually just chill. But yeah, nothing really, like nothing's going on crazy in my life other than my sister. I mean, that's like the coolest thing ever for me right now.
That's the coolest thing ever for me right now. I'm like, fun. That's so fun. Are you a showgirl? Do you watch shows?
Yes.
What do you do on your free time?
Honestly, right now, I do not feel like I have free time.
Okay.
And I hate saying that because I need to be better, but I really don't feel like it. Like, especially with a newborn, which you probably relate, it's like nothing is like my toddler stopped napping pretty much. And then even if she did, it's the worst. It's the worst. And then my newborn's naps are not.
There's she nap in the crib?
Newborn?
Yeah.
Yes, she does. Well, I don't even think she's a newborn anymore. She does.
I know.
Nap in the crib.
I feel like they're newborns.
Yeah, when does it stop? She's 4 months, but yeah, she's napping in her crib, but it's like she's asleep, but my toddler is not. And then at night, I feel like genuinely I put my kids to bed and then I'm panic doing everything that I couldn't get done during the day. Yep. I don't feel like I have free time right now.
And then you go to bed at midnight and then you feed them.
Yes.
And then you go to sleep and then you wake up at 5.
Yes.
That's at least what I'm doing.
Literally me. And I'm like, I know it's just a phase. So I keep telling myself it's okay. It's just a phase. There will be a day where I sleep through the night again, that everything falls into place. I feel like I'm just in that transition period of like trying to get my groove again.
Yes.
So truthfully, I don't know what I do in my free time. I am envious of the people who are like reading books and in book clubs. I'm like, how do you have time to read a book? Like, when do you actually sit down and read a book?
I actually had this conversation just yesterday with my friends because we were going to start a book club for 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo or whatever.
I've heard that one's good.
I got one chapter and I was like, I don't have the time.
I know. I
don't have the time.
It's hard. It really is. I feel the same. I don't have the time. And if I do, I feel like the pressure to be doing something else. You know what I mean?
Well, I can always make a to-do list.
Yes.
There's always something.
Exactly. Which I need to be better about. But I really think I'm like, it's just a phase. Because I remember feeling like this after my first.
Yeah.
And just not like, it took me a minute to get my groove and feel like, okay, this is the norm. I can fit in other things. But yeah, free time is not really existent. Me and my husband watch shows in bed once we get in bed. But honestly, we haven't really been watching anything good lately. I'm trying to think of the last good show that I watched.
My husband became addicted to Suits. Did you ever watch Suits?
No, I didn't.
See, he got so into it, and then I was like, wait a second, I want to get into it. But by the time I wanted to get into it, it was too late.
Dang it. That is the worst.
So maybe you guys could watch Suits if you guys
we
haven't watched Suits.
I know. We should do that.
My trash is I just am not getting sleep, and I don't know if you are or what.
So I was. My baby, so first month, just whatever.
Yeah.
At about 2 months, my baby was sleeping through the night with one feed. But when I say sleeping, like she would sleep, like not like the sleep and the grunt and the noises. Yeah, no. Sleep. Wake up once to eat. And about a month and a half ago, just everything went out the window. Devastation. I'm waking up multiple times at night. And it's so weird because she's not eating multiple times a night. She just wakes up. She's uncomfy. She's not happy. And it's not fun at all.
Are you breastfeeding?
I'm not. I just stopped. So that was a big thing is I started supplementing with formula. My supply just plummets around
I'm a
like
formula
3 months.
mama. So
From the get-go?
This time,
okay,
yeah. 2 weeks. I lasted 2 weeks and then I got mastitis and I said, no, thank you.
Oh, see, I never had mastitis. Thank the heavens. I'm knocking on wood for next pregnancy. But
so
I breastfed and I liked it when I was going, but now it's like, but basically what happens is I get to the point where I'm making just enough and then it starts happening where she's hungry every 2 hours and she's crying after and I'm like, I know you didn't get enough food. So now we just do bottle, but it's been a transition of like adjusting and I don't know, but I'm not sleeping either. So that sucks for us.
No sleep.
It's not fun. It really isn't.
It's not. Mm-mm. And I'm like, I could use I can't even imagine sleeping from just like 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Like what that would do for me.
Yes, I know. I'm going to New York on Monday and I'm actually leaving both girls and I'm so sad about it.
But get a good night's sleep.
I know. So I'm just like, okay, this week has been rough. My toddler also is being such a strange sleeper. She's always been good. And this week she's been waking up like 6:30 in the morning.
How old is Sage? 3?
She's 3 in November. So she's almost 3. How old is your other?
So I have a girl that turns 5 in January.
Oh, yeah.
And then my 2-year-old turns 3 next month.
Oh, you have 3.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So fun.
Yeah,
okay.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
How many kids do you want? If you
For
could
sure
just have as
3.
many. Okay.
For sure 3, max 4. Like, I feel like the only way we'd go for 4 is if we have a third girl. I feel like we'd try for a boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if we get a boy, I think we'll be done.
Yeah, no,
Are you done, or are you doing
I
more?
always said 4, but I'm done.
Yeah.
I have girl, boy, boy. I feel
perfect.
complete.
Yeah.
And I just want my body to be mine again. And
Yeah.
I'm ready to just like,
Not be in the pregnancy postpartum phase anymore.
I hate being pregnant. And I'm just,
dang it.
my mental health is just very important to me. And
Yeah.
I don't think I could be a good mom to more than 3 kids.
Yeah. No, it's.
I feel like I'd be a mess.
I feel like 3 is a good amount. I
Yeah.
honestly do. And like I always said 4, but slowly we're kind of like 3 sounds good.
Yeah.
I know I want more than 2. Like, I know I want one more,
Yeah.
but then we'll just see how we feel after that. But
Do you want a same age gap?
I wouldn't mind a little bit further.
Yeah.
Because I kind of like that they're close, and
Yeah.
then there can be a little gap, and then
Then you have your
I don't know.
little
But
baby.
then part of me, like, I'm gonna be 30 in January, which makes me sick
Wait, are you
to
a
my
Capricorn?
stomach. Yeah,
I am too.
January 11th.
January 3rd.
Oh my gosh, Capricorns. We're the
Capricorn
best.
girlies. We
We're
are.
just the best.
We are.
But I feel like I also don't want to wait too long, because I kind of just want to be done with the whole pregnancy situation. Like, I want to just have our family and like be done and not think the whole like, okay, when am I going to get pregnant again? So
It's
I don't know.
stressful.
Yeah, it is.
The timing, and then it took 10 months the first time.
Yes,
What do we do
I
this
know.
time?
Well, that's what's going to happen is this time around, I'm going to plan for it to take 10
Yeah.
months, and then I'm going to get pregnant on the first try.
I feel like I feel like your sisters and you guys are always pregnant at similar times. Are you going to try to plan it?
So my 2 sisters got pregnant literally at the exact
Yeah.
same time. They were like 6 weeks apart. I tried so hard. That's when I was trying, and then I got pregnant literally right after they had their babies. So I probably won't fall unless they want to wait. No, I don't think we're going to fall. I think they might fall in again, but probably not me. But really, when they're all older, they're a year apart. It's not that different. But right now, it's kind of different.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of more trash that happened. To be honest, I'm on tirzepatide, that shot.
Oh, yes. How's it going?
I am so sick today.
No. When did you start it?
Well, I started 8 weeks ago.
Oh, but you're okay.
Today, I don't know if it's because I'm on my period.
Oh, interesting.
Lindsay, if I have seemed off while you're talking, it's because I am like,
Are you sick?
I'm like, it's like a wave. It's like
no.
1 second I'm like fine, and the next
so
minute I'm like,
sorry.
am I gonna barf on Lindsay? Like,
That
can
would make
you
it really
imagine?
interesting.
Can you imagine the
I would
content on
forgive you.
YouTube if I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's
So
hard.
that's some trash that just happened today. I've like never felt this, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden I'm
You've
like,
never been nauseous from
no.
it? Did you give yourself the
Like,
shot today?
No, Friday.
Weird. It's probably because
Like
of the period.
Yeah,
I would
it
imagine.
has to be my period. I'm like, that's something that would make sense.
Yeah.
That's kind of my trash of the week, and just I'm throwing a party next week on Tuesday, so I've been planning for that.
What for?
Just season 2, and then new merch. I'm wearing our new merch.
Oh my gosh,
and
I
so
can't wait. That's so exciting.
That's kind of all I've been doing.
That's so
Nothing
exciting.
as exciting as my sister being on Dancing with the
I
Stars.
mean, that's pretty
though.
cool. I mean, I'm living vicariously through her for sure. I'm like, I got nothing, but my sister does.
Yeah.
So.
When does it air?
September 26th. So it was 2 weeks from yesterday. So yeah.
So did they start practicing 2 weeks ago, or just
About a
barely?
week ago. So they've already been rehearsing. It's going well. I don't want to give
my
away
gosh.
too
Yeah,
much,
no.
but
That is so exciting.
I know it's fun.
Okay, well now it's time for Trash Topican. Trash Topican is sponsored by Better Days. If you're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, you've probably seen Better Days everywhere, and there's a good reason why. They are redefining how we feel every day. Why do I love Better Days? Well, for starters, they offer the best tasting greens in my opinion. Plus, they've got a caffeinated version that's perfect for those of us who are constantly running on caffeine these days. Here's the kicker. All their products are gluten-free, sugar-free, and made with the cleanest ingredients out there. I've made it a daily ritual to enjoy 2 Better Day drinks, one with my lunch and one before bed. Obviously, the one before bed has no caffeine because I already have a baby keeping me up. But my personal flavors are strawberry pineapple and peach limeade. And don't just take my word for it. Try Better Days for yourself and you'll understand why everyone is raving about it. And guess what? I got a special code for listeners. Use code WEEKLYTRASH to get an exclusive 10% off your order at betterdaysco.com. BetterDaysco.com. Make every day a better day with Better Days. Trash Topican is also sponsored by Rose Floral Studio. Fresh flowers enhance any space and event, whether you are looking for a whimsical, boho, traditional, or rustic vibe. Their experienced designer will work closely with you to find your style following your needs and your budget. They will always be available to answer any of your questions and will make sure the process goes smoothly for you. I'm using Rose for my party next week, and Sandy, the owner, has made the process so amazing. I met with her and showed her my inspo pics and what I was thinking, but I also know nothing about flowers. So she was able to give me her honest opinion, which was super helpful and much appreciated. She sent me sketches of the centerpieces, so I got a good idea of what to expect. I cannot wait to see it all come to life on Tuesday. Her talent is unreal. So spoil yourself with beautiful flower arrangements on your wedding or any other special event, and mention Weekly Trash and get the friends and family discount of 10% off your entire contract with Rose Floral Studio when you visit rosefloralstudio.com. ROSEFLORALSTUDIO.com and book a free consultation.
Okay.
Which you are going to pick a topic out of this trash can.
Okay. Oh, I'm scared. This is where it gets crazy, doesn't it?
And I need to make sure, because Demi opened one and then she put it back in here, and I do not want you to open the same one that she did.
Okay.
And I should have done this
Wait,
before.
why?
Okay.
Is it bad?
No, I don't want to answer
keep
it
it
twice.
Oh, yeah. I feel you.
There's only 3 in there right now.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm like, stir around.
you're like, where are they?
Okay. Most annoying thing your significant other does. Ooh, this is good. Gosh,
You're
I have to pick one?
You're like, where's my list?
I have to pick just one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, as of late, it is towels. Bath towels.
Like just leaving them?
He will get out of the shower and he will leave them all over. And that means that I have to wash multiple towels because he'll leave them on the floor wet and then they smell like mildew, which is like one of my biggest pet peeves is mildew smell on clothes.
No.
It bugs me so bad. And I just I watch him do it and I'm like, why can't you just hang that up? Like, I don't understand why it's so hard.
Why are men like that?
That's probably the most recent, and probably because we had that conversation last night, so it's fresh on the mind.
It's fresh.
If we stayed here long enough, I could probably
make a whole
unpack
list.
Unpack a few.
I'm like, what does my husband do that drives me insane? Honestly, it's when he goes to the bathroom. Because it's an hour-long process.
Ooh, when they come home from work and go straight to the bathroom. I just need to go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, really? You don't think I have to go to the bathroom?
Like, I've had to go to the bathroom since this morning.
Yes, and also I'm like, take the kids with you. Because I don't poop privately ever.
Ever.
I never get privacy.
We have a bidet.
Oh.
So that makes the process even longer.
Yeah, he's got to have a little facial, a booty facial.
He's got to steam. He's got to air dry. He's got to deodorize.
I get so bugged. I feel you.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, at least we're not.
It drives me up the wall. I'm like, how would it be to take a 45-minute shit?
Yeah. Or even a shower. They shower so long too. Like my showers are quick. I am anxious in a shower. If a shower is longer than 5 minutes for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get out.
Well, and
even if I have nowhere to be.
I'm at the point where like my 2 older ones, I can like have them play downstairs and I trust them enough to do like a 10-minute shower.
Yeah.
But I'll be laying in bed with the baby because he'll take the kids in the morning. Oh, okay. So I just have baby with me.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
And all of a sudden I'm like half awake and I hear him in the shower and I'm like, how long have you been in the shower? And he's like, oh, just a minute. And I'm like, so the kids have just been downstairs for like 30 minutes? Like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, what? When I take a shower, I'm like, okay, gotta be quick. Yes, like, I have like 5 minutes.
You hear like faint cries and you're like, is that a baby crying? Like, you think
they're dying. Cries.
Yeah, phantom cries.
Was that even real?
Yeah.
Was that even real? Did that happen? No, seriously. But we love them.
Yeah, we love them so much.
We love our husbands.
I feel like I hyped Sam up enough in this podcast. I can trash on him a little bit.
You really
Sam, you're great, but you have some flaws. But just like me.
You need to hang up your towels.
Yeah. Hang up your towels. Don't take long poops. Come home from work and immediately get the children out of my hands. I feel like come home from work. I'm like, here. Like I literally hand the baby. I'm like, please.
That's me. Oh, same. I'm like, feed him.
Here you go. Yeah.
I just want to go sit.
Yeah, I just want to sit. That's the thing. I don't want to have to do anything. I just want to sit. But
you just need a minute. Yep. You just need a minute. Well, I'm excited for you to go to LA and meet Harry.
I know, I am too. I'm so excited.
That'll be really fun. Is it just you? Or are you taking June?
I'm taking June, yeah. Just because I'm like, I don't know. I'm going overnight.
A lot.
It is a lot. I did it last week and I was there for 2 nights. I'm literally going for 24 hours. But I'm taking June because I'm leaving them next week. So I kind of just
you're speaking. What are you speaking at in New York?
So I'm speaking at an event with Aura Space. They're like a really cool mental health app. They do a lot of things for women and it's with women's health. So it's a panel. So I guess I'm not really speaking, but
you have to be mentally prepared.
Yes, I got to be mentally prepared. But then I'm also, so the real reason I'm going to New York is I'm hosting a pop-up workout class, like an influencer class for my workout program. Yeah. So I'm doing that on Tuesday or Wednesday morning.
Where are you doing it at?
I'm doing it at the Nomo Soho, their rooftop space. Do you know that
cool.
area?
I'm gonna pretend like I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Totally.
I love it.
Yeah. I totally know New York. Like Upper East Side.
I don't even know it either. It's
Soho.
a hotel. It's a roof on a hotel.
I've been one time, and it was the greatest experience of my life. I went last year at this exact time. We were there for 9/11.
This is such a good time to go.
It was the coolest thing.
Yeah,
and we went with people who live there part-time. So they were able to show us everything, teach us the subway.
Yeah, that's helpful.
And I felt like I didn't have to stress or worry about anything.
Absolutely.
And that's the way to do it.
Oh, 100%.
Like
if you're stressed, you're not having fun.
If I went by myself and I was like overstimulated, lost, didn't know, I would have probably hated it. But they just kind of showed me everything and took me everywhere, and the restaurants and the shopping. And I was like, I want to live here.
I know. It's fun. I could never live there.
Not with kids.
Yeah, not with kids. But even myself, I'm just not really
a city girl.
No, I'm just not. So I could never live there, but I do love like visiting. Like I think it's really fun to get a taste of it and like have that like busy
lifestyle.
But like I could never live in any city, if I'm being honest. Like this is like, I'm already bugged that they're doing the freaking like Utah County city over there.
Yes.
I'm like, why are we doing this? Like just why? It's so dumb.
Give me more land.
Yes,
I don't need a city.
But that's me. That's because I grew up here and I get bugged that like we're filling in every morsel of this whole entire
traffic is getting out of control.
Oh, don't even get like I get road rage really bad.
Oh, same.
Like, really bad.
What kind of driver are you?
Ask my husband. I'm an insane driver.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
same.
I'm not a good driver.
I feel like that's a Capricorn thing.
Yes, maybe it is. It's honestly road rage. I got to get there as quick as possible, even if I'm not in a hurry, even if I'm not late.
Same way.
Like I'm like, why would I spend more time in the car than I absolutely have to? But
it's like a race.
Like to my defense, like my husband always tells me I'm a bad driver, but I'm like, I've never gotten a ticket.
Okay, I've gotten a ticket. I can't.
I've never gotten a ticket. I've gotten in an accident, but it wasn't my fault. Like I got hit, but I'm like, and my husband's totaled like 3 cars and had like, so I'm like, you don't get to talk.
Like I'm a better driver.
I'm a better driver, but I will admit, like I'm a speedster. Like I'm like, we got to get there ASAP.
Same.
For no reason at all.
Same.
Yeah.
No, I almost kind of like to like pressure myself. Like my daughter's preschool will be at 9, and I'm like, okay, the latest I can leave is 8:50. I'm like, that is insane that I'm trying to get there in 10 minutes, but I will do it.
But I will do it. Yeah. You're like thinking of I feel you on
like
that.
the latest time I can leave is 8:50.
Yep.
Okay. And then I somehow get there on time. My friends are like, you left your house at 8:50 and you got here.
It's a challenge, and I succeeded.
I accepted. I will get pulled over and get my license taken away though someday. I just know it because
it'll be worth it.
It will be. That thrill, the adrenaline rush, like
so worth it.
I should have been a NASCAR race driver.
Oh my gosh,
one
right?
day.
I know. I feel like that would have been
another life.
That'd probably be good for us for sure.
How do we get there? How do we start talking about driving?
I don't even know. Oh, traffic. Here, yeah, because I don't want to live in a city, Utah County City, if that's what they're calling it.
You lived in LA, so you really know traffic.
Yeah. Terrible, so terrible. Like PTSD from living there, but.
Because if you want to go anywhere, you have to not drive between the hours of 4 and like 7.
Oh yeah, and then also in the morning, like
yes. So you
7
really can
to 9:30. You really can only go places in the middle of the day. Which who goes like usually need to be somewhere in the morning, or I don't know. It's terrible. Yeah, no, I absolutely hate it. I land tomorrow at rush hour in LA.
At LAX. Oh, bless your heart.
I'm already crying, and I'm gonna have June with me, and I'm just like, it was the only flight that worked, so we're doing it. But I'm gonna cry.
Are you getting like an Uber? Or?
No, my mom's going to come pick me up. So my mom's down there and she's going to come pick me up with Riley's car. So that's nice.
Okay.
That'll
be nice.
At least if I'm in traffic, it's not like I'm in an Uber because that's the worst. Oh my gosh. Especially with a baby. And then the baby starts crying and they're just like, and you're like, sorry, but also not sorry.
Yeah, that happened to me in New York, and the guy had 1 million air fresheners in his car. I didn't have the baby, but it was me and my husband. And I was like, I can't breathe in here. No, it smells like someone spilled Dollar Tree cologne all everywhere. Over this place.
Yeah, it's bad.
Some Ubers, I'm
makes you a little sick.
Like you get 1 star.
Yeah.
Never again.
Smelled weird.
Never again. Don't like it.
Don't like the Dollar Tree.
Lindsay, I love you. I just think you're the best. And I'm so excited for your sister, Riley. Thank you. I'm going to download your app.
Yes,
where can you do? You just download it on iTunes? So, is it Android and iTunes, or
it's just iTunes right now? We're working on Android.
Okay,
but
you don't need to. People have Androids. Why do you have an Android?
I know.
Please go get an iPhone.
I know. I just feel like there's so many things you can't do on an Android. So I'm just like,
why?
Isn't it make your life really hard?
Why? No.
I know. I feel you, but we're doing it because people are mad about it.
You're nice.
But you can go to movementclub.com, start your trial. You can do a 7-day free trial, which is awesome because I'm doing it. If you like it, please do. You would love it. Like the thing about the program that's so cool is it's very much like it. There's no workout that's longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I have 5-minute workouts on there, 10, 15.
Well,
so
they're all like home workouts
Yep,
too.
everything at home. It's no pressure. You can just fit it into your schedule. And I feel like it's just really good for anybody, no matter what level of fitness you're at. So
I love it. I'm going to do it.
I'll send you, I'm going to send you a membership.
No,
so you can do it.
I'm paying for it. Women support women. Women support women. I'm going to buy one.
Well, I love you for that.
Well, guys, I hope you have a great weekend, and your weekend will probably be better than being in LAX. So
yes, wish me luck. Yeah. Wish me luck.
And I love you guys. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review, and don't forget to take out your trash. Bye, everybody.
Bye.